Hello and welcome back. This is Mr. Burlingame. This is video 2 of PopTV. Hopefully you have done what I asked in the first video. You've dragged all the elements over, and here is where you want to create your new elements. If you have a real picture ready of the student you want to use, or students, or whatever, this is when you want to create it, as well as any I can statements or I can sentences or information with the I can. And hopefully, if you know a little bit about Photoshop, you can quickly do that by just drawing a text box and typing in the words. So get all of your elements together in the Layers panel before we move on to animation. It's very important that you do this, because if you add a layer later, it will mess up your entire timeline. So get all of your information or all of your elements together in the main file that you just created. Then hit File, Save, and come back and see me. Okay, you're back. Hopefully you added at least two I can or an I can statement and an I am statement, or whatever you wanted to add. It doesn't matter where you added it. That's entirely up to you where you put it, because we're going to be moving this stuff around anyway. So basically it could look like there, but it doesn't really matter where you put it. So let's move on. Here we go. Let's animate this stuff. In my mind, in my vision, you have to have an idea of how you want this stuff to go together. Right now, everything's together right now. You can easily take the visibility icons off the images you don't want to see in the first frame, which is all of these images here. And I'm going to have just a blank screen, and let's fade in the I can right here. So when you see the animation panel down here, yours may look like this. If it does, hit the little lower icon in the lower corner and go to frames mode. Very important to be in frames mode. Now your frames might be really tiny. You can go to panel options using this flyout menu, and if your frames look really small like that and you want them to be bigger, just go to panel options and change the size. I like mine to be big. Moving on, here is our first frame. Be sure to change the frame delay at the bottom drop down to no delay. Very important, because you're going to make the main delays later in this, the time periods where something stays on the screen for a while. For right now, we're going to tween with using no delay, so be sure to set that. This is our first frame. This is a keyframe. We're going to base other frames off of this frame. Let's move on to a second keyframe. The second keyframe is the I can. The I can is going to blink from on to off. So here we are in keyframe 1, and it's on. If we lower the opacity in the I can frame, or the main starting keyframe for the I can layer to 0, that gives it a keyframe of 0% on opacity on the first frame. If that makes any sense. The second frame we're going to see I can come in. So with the second frame highlighted, just simply highlight the I can frame again, or layer, I keep saying frame, and bring the opacity up to 100. So we go from there to here, there to here. Now let's tween those so they smoothly go from one to another. Highlight the first frame, and this little icon down here is your tween button. Tween is just a shortened word for between. It means to create the frames between the keyframes. So with keyframe 1 selected, we hit the tween button, and we're going to add, I don't know, 15, 18 frames. We're going to add a bunch of frames at no delay. When we hit OK, don't mess with these. Let them be default, please. Just type in 17 and click OK. And you'll notice that it added a whole bunch of frames here. When you hit the play button, you can see what's going to happen. So basically, we hit play and it fades from nothing to open, just like that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. You can also watch it over and over again by hitting it, this drop flyout menu right here, and hitting forever. And then when you hit play, it keeps hitting forever and forever and forever. So go ahead and tween that first little action that you want to happen, and do file save and come back and see me. See ya.